Hello and welcome back to me playing Pillars of Eternity. Last time we cleared out Redrick's Hold, and Redrick's Hold song is still playing despite the fact that we are in the Wooded Plains. We are in the Stronghold menu right now because Bright Hollow's restoration has been finished, and as such we are allowed to sleep now freely without having to use camping supplies. So that's good. What is going to be our next upgrade? I would really like to upgrade the barracks because it will allow me to employ hirelings to defend your stronghold during attacks. It's basically going to be adding a few hirelings that we're going to be able to hire here. And every time someone will attack, we can return to the stronghold. We can resolve automatically, or we can resolve manually. If we resolve automatically, some of those people might die and some of the buildings might get destroyed. If we resolve manually, we can keep everyone alive and happy, and they help us too, so that's actually pretty helpful. To that, I will upgrade the barracks next. Okie dokie. So, as I've stated, today we're gonna go towards the Adelwan Bridge and into Copperlane, but first, we're going to meet someone on the street here, on the roads. Someone which might temporarily replace Kana.
Hush, Itumok. We'll just wait a little longer.
A dwarven woman dressed in skins and hides leans against the road marker. Her face is turned down, her eyes darkened by a thick stripe of face paint. She's sharpening a bone arrowhead with a scrimshaw-handled knife. Her attention, however, is focused on a bare figurine between her feet. A large white furred fox standing at her heels looks up at your approach.
Easy, Itumok. It's not him.
Who are you waiting for?
Short version? I'm looking for a very, very old friend. I'm not sure what skin he's wearing now, but I'll know him when I see him.
Can I help you find him? She stops sharpening her arrowhead and slowly folds her arms. That's an interesting question. The last helpful stranger only succeeded in lightening my purse. I think I'll handle this on my own. Your friend is supposed to meet you here?
That's what I heard. Of course, the man who told me so was carrying a staff he claimed was made from dragon bone, but I know Whitewood when I see it. That should have been my first clue, but I had to try something.
What exactly are you talking about?
The long version. Here we go. I'm from an island to the far south called Nasitok. I came here looking for a village elder, a man we knew as Persok. I'm a hunter back home, so tracking someone wouldn't normally be a problem. But Persok's trail is cold, to say the least.
Why can't you find him? There can't be that many of your people in the Dyrwood. He died when I was still a young girl. Forgot to mention that part, did I? I'm looking for his latest reincarnation, which could be anyone. How long have you been looking for Persok? Her painted brows lower, and her compact, muscular frame sags for just an instant. 5 years. So you've been searching 5 years for a stranger you barely remember. Who could be anyone now?
That about sums it up.
Then it must be an important duty.
So I keep reminding myself. Still, it would be nice if important duties came with clearer instructions.
Earlier you'd mentioned an unhelpful stranger.
True enough. But first I should explain about the figurine.
She dusts the figurine on her trousers and raises it in her small, flat palm. It's carved in the shape of a bear, smooth and round. The polished adra is worn to a dual mat along its arched back and ovoid haunches. A soft glow emanates from within.
Cute, isn't it? It belonged to Persok. Before he returned to the wheel, he left a splinter of his soul in it. Something to help us find him later.
As she holds it out to you, you feel wisps of sensation. Not quite memories, but traces of someone.
When I left Nasitok, it was completely dark inside. But as I've gotten closer to Persok, it's glowed steadily brighter. Since I've reached the Dyrwood, however, it's gotten hard to read. Some days it flickers and goes dark. Others it shines nice and bright. For a few hours. But most of the time, it looks just like this.
Persok could be farther away still. She shakes her head. I spent a year circling the area, thinking the same thing. Get as far south as Ozia and as far north as Fleetbreaker Castle when I realized the figure was going dark again. Something happened when I trekked through the White March and circled the bays to the west. Maybe it's broken. She laughs hollowly. Even Scan wouldn't be that cruel. It's working, I'm sure of it. It's just not as precise as I'd hoped. Even so, she squints at it, looking doubtful. What will you do now?
I can tell you what I won't do again. Rely on miracle peddlers. It was some so-called watcher who sent me to this crossroads in the middle of nowhere in the first place. I was on my way out of the Balmarsh when I heard talk of a traveling mystic who could supposedly see souls. I knew it was a long shot, but what did I have to lose? I went to see this fellow and gave him the Audra figurine. He made a big show of moaning and rolling his eyes, and after I'd given him 5 golden dukes to lift the shroud, he told me to seek the crossroads in the field between the wolf's lair and the twining trees.
Go on.
He thought he was being vague, but I know the area well enough to recognize that he meant this place, right between Defiance Bay and Twin Elms. I had a bad taste in my mouth, but my coin was spent and I'd already left an arrow in his knapsack as a friendly warning. Told him I'd come back and leave him with another if it turned out he was giving me the runaround. I've been here a week now. Guess he had the last laugh after all.
May I see the figurine?
Why?
I'm a real watcher.
You expect me to believe that? After the story I just told you?
You've got nothing to lose by letting me try.
Fine. But if you try to run, just remember that my arrows are faster.
That's what you think? There probably are. She hands you the figurine, her chapped knuckles grazing your hand. She watches you examine it, wary but curious. You raise the Adra bear, turning it in the light. As your eyes catch a tiny, glinting scratch, the scenery around you melts away. You're standing on a cliff overlooking the water, seeing through eyes that aren't your own. You catch the musk of beasts amidst the fresh scent of vegetation, and your heart beats a little faster. You'll have to watch your step up here. You look down just long enough to see the sharp, pale cliffs drop into water, hundreds of feet below you. I see a vision of cliffs high over the water. Does that sound familiar? Your question is greeted with shrugs and silence. Sniff the breeze. Breathing deeply, you smell salt in the air. Wherever you're standing, wherever Persak is standing, must be near the ocean, not a lake. I've got it. He's standing on a cliff.
What are you talking about? What just happened?
I told you, I am a watcher. She blinks at you a few times, calculating. I know that sounds strange, but it's the truth.
You realize I've got no coin to give you, even if I did believe you.
Come with me. I've got other businesses in the area, and we can look for Persak on the way. Alright, we'll dismiss Kana for now, and recruit Sagani, which is her name, by the way. She didn't even explain her name to us, did she?
Ready, Watcher.
She is a ranger. A ranger dwarf, boreal dwarf particularly. Boreal dwarves usually do not have beards, and you can have both her. You can see both her stats, which is high perception, might, some constitution, dexterity, of course. I would probably trade a bit of intellect with dexterity, probably. Rangers are exactly what the word says in this game. They're rangers. They use bows better than anything. Although they can use melee to a certain amount of with a certain amount of skill. She's also going to be our sneak specialist, but we're gonna also fill up some athletics as much as we can, in fact, as well as survival. Now, her animal companion, the little white fox, it can be powered up with talents. Vicious Companion gives it 15% damage and free damage reduction bypass, which is pretty decent. This one modifies her wounding shot ability, which is twice per encounter. It hobbles targets. It's similar to a ability that rogues use, which basically also hobbles. I think it's hobbles. It says shot, but I'm almost 100% sure it can be used melee. It's a bit awkward phrasing, but I guess it might be used melee. I'm not sure. Don't hold me accountable if I'm wrong, but I think it can work melee. Anyway, Resilient Companion, it gives the companion free damage reduction, not that great honestly. The Faithful Companion gains improved defenses against Charmed, Confused, and Nominated afflictions, so it's decent, but not the greatest. And 30% damage to the companion, so between Vicious Companion and Merciless Companion, which one is the better one? I feel like Merciless Companion gets the cake on this one, I think. But we can also get the next one anyway, soon enough. Let's level up as we go. That's fine. Alright, so let's see. Swift Aim, it increases the speed and reload speed with -7 accuracy disadvantage. But the good side is 7 accuracy is not a lot for the speed you get as a bonus. Particularly late levels, it's actually pretty little. Mark Prey is essentially the ability that I have as a paladin, only that it's from far away. It's that ability. Predator Sense, 50% damage against targets affected by a damage over time, which means that they have to be burning essentially. Vicious Aim, a bit less speed, a bit less reload speed, better accuracy, more damage. We're gonna go with Swift Aim. Next level, we're gonna go with some athletics and some survival. Now we can still get Vicious Companion, as I said. Any of these stays here. So we're gonna get Vicious Companion for the additional damage and damage reduction bypass together with the 30% previously picked. I think that might be pretty good. Do they stack? Oh, that's a good question actually. Do they stack? I'm not sure if they stack. Okay, so listen up my theory. I do know that items do not stack of the same effect, and items and skills of the same effect do stack. But do abilities of the same effect stack? I guess I'll investigate on the issue. We're gonna pick Vicious Companion for now. If it doesn't make us happy, we're gonna change that. And finally, the 5th and last level, we're gonna add some athletics. Probably, yeah, let's go with athletics. Vicious Aim, is there Defensive Bond actually, let's see, the new ones. Defense against area of effect, attacks, Animal Companion defense against area. So basically, it gives you defense against area of attack. Pardon me. Stalker's Link, 10 accuracy when attacking the same target as Animal Companion is not bad. 15 damage against targets affected by damage over time. Our sense is 15 deflection against range attack. We're gonna go with the Stalker's Link. Although this one wouldn't be that bad. Let's go with Mark Prey. Let's go with Mark Prey. I feel like that might be good together with the ability that I already have with my Paladin. Yeah.
Well?
Alright, we're a pack now and a half. The wolf is gonna come in front. Well, it's not a wolf, it's technically a fox, which is basically a wolf anyway. Now, what is the deal? Itumak here has 76 health, or endurance rather. These are its abilities, of course, as you can see, or rather, its statistics. It has pretty low constitution, but it has pretty decent dexterity, which makes it pretty fast at it. I have no idea if this animal, if these two abilities stacks. This one and where is the other one? It's not there. I don't know. We'll see. I'll investigate. If not, we can always reset the abilities. It's not some big deal by any rate, by any stretch. I think rangers share the health bar with their companions. So as long as the companion gets harmed, the health bar, the big one, drops down also for the ranger. I think that's how it works, because they nerfed the ranger a bit, I think. Or maybe they buffed it. Or maybe they just made a whole heck of a revision. Anyway, let's go to Defiance Bay. Here we have Edelwon Bridge. Whoops. It's a pretty small area, but then again, it's just a simple plain out crossing. Welcome to Defiance Bay, but watch yourself in our city. Understand?
Well met, friend.
What can I do for you? What can you tell me about Defiance Bay? Sorry, but I don't have time right now, but it sounds like the dozens crackpot Rowan is stirring up trouble again. He jerks his head at the gate. He'd be all too happy to give you a rundown of the city, liberally flavored with dozens propaganda, of course. I'm looking for the Temple of Vurika. He scratches his beard. Not sure why you'd want to go there, he shrugs. It's in First Fires, if you really want to see it. You seem to be on the edge. What is the problem? Thousands of them, truth be told. We've got refugees coming from all the parts, under some misguided notion that things are actually better here, that the legacy somehow passed us over. So they show up with no prospects and little money and just end up making a worse mess of things. He looks you up and down. No offense. Alright, goodbye. He grunts. And good luck to you. Copperlane it is. We're gonna rest at the inn, first and foremost. We're gonna do some trading. And then we can see where we are headed next.
Defiance Bay. The city at the heart of the Dyrwood's revolution now seems on the brink of another. Refugees line the streets, homeless and hungry, displaced by White One's legacy, hoping for relief within the city walls, and finding none. Dissidents congregate to protest and to heckle, calling for an end to animancy and the ouster of their duke. The city's militiamen cast fearful looks as they patrol the streets, their hands trembling at the hilts of their weapons. The capital of a country that had not long ago incinerated a god now appears to be a spark away from sharing the deity's fate.
Welcome to Copperlane, the
Those
trading
walls
district.
surround the whole city.
We're gonna get a few interesting dialogues from our companions as we move around. But first and foremost, what was it called? The Goose and the Fox. Whoops. I'm a bit wobbly with my movements today, I guess. This is the local inn. We're gonna rest here, and we're gonna investigate. Let's talk to Bishop. Welcome to the Goose and Fox.
Well met, friend.
The man behind the bar is nearly the size of an Amawa. A handle protrudes from his back, and his face is set in a stoic frown. He gives you a small nod. Here for a drink? There's a tiny pewter cup in front of him. He turns it in one broad hand, but doesn't drink from it. I'd like to order some refreshments. Okay, he's not very talkative, a man. He's definitely not very talkative as a person. We don't need to sell that necessarily, actually. He sells a yellow lab. We're buying that, of course, because we're pet collectors. Did I just screw up? No, I didn't. Cool. Alright, and we're going to rest. Which rooms do we have? Athletics, mechanics, range, accuracy, dexterity, survival, 10 defense when disengaging. This is pretty good because it's 2 dexterity bonus. We're gonna take that for 160 gold pieces or coin or copper pieces.
Well,
And it should be day now. Now, in here in the corner, that miserable bastard. A woman sits by herself, spinning something on the table in front of her and watching it with furious intensity. It's about the size of a coin, and it wobbles over a crack in the wood with a metallic rattle. She snatches it up with one hand and slams a half-empty cup down on the table with the other. This is not a good time. What are you doing here? She takes a long drink from her glass. I'm just trying to calm down. I'm trying to talk myself out of something foolish. Something foolish? She says nothing for a few moments, as if hoping you'll leave. At last, Kenra looks up at you, and lamplight falls across her face. A purpling bruise is blossoming along her cheekbone. There's something I need to give to my fiancé, Prunisk. Or Prunish, I guess. Only he doesn't seem to go anywhere without his new friends, and they're not exactly pleasant company. Who hit you? She shakes her head. I know how this looks, but you do not understand. It is not like Prunisk. It's these new friends of his. They brought out the worst of him. Tell me about these new friends. They come into our house with their dead eyes and their black teeth. I'm not a fool. I know what it means. Purnisk makes me leave when they show up, but it is obvious what they come to do. Last time they came, I told them to get out. Let them have their fun somewhere in the gift, but not under my roof. She scowls and then winces, her fingertips gently probing her bruise. Svev changes you, I guess. The Purnisk I knew wouldn't have squashed a spider. I never thought he'd. She trails off, still feeling the swollen, discolored flesh. Maybe I could go talk to him. Her hand rests on the table and she clenches it into a white-knuckled fist. There's nothing more to say to him. We're finished. It's just to give this back to him and have a clean break. She opens her hand and a ring clatters onto the table. It was his grandmother's. Even after this, I don't have the heart to sell it off. But if I go back there myself, I know what'll happen. I'll lose my temper and I'll probably wind up with another one of these. She points to her bruise. But I've heard you're trustworthy. If you give this back to him, he'll know we're done. I'll take the ring to Purnisk, then. She looks at you and nods. The house is just north of here. Just please, don't hurt him. As furious as I am, I don't want that on my conscience. Oh, we are going to murder him. Yeah, what's up, Sagani? Sagani draws up beside you, her fox following at her heels, and takes a seat next to you.
Even if you are putting one over on me, it's nice to have a hunting party again.
Sounds like you've been gone from home a long time.
5 years for me. Must be 30-something for Ichimok.
Hearing its name, the fox looks up. What an adventure!
It certainly started out that way. It's been a long hunt. A long time away from my family. Before, I'd crossed the tundra of Nasitok following caribou herds. I didn't want to leave Kalu and our children, but I was eager to visit lands my people rarely do. But 5 years without finding him. It's like 2 hours of necking. I'm ready to be done with it.
Where do you have to find Persok?
Soul recovery is an old village tradition. We call it the Tarnek Elitsak. Once in a generation, we seek the soul of a much respected and long dead village elder. We tell him what's changed in the village, how people remember him. The only other Tarnek Elitsak during my lifetime happened when I was a girl, not long after Persok died. We feasted on blubber and fermented milk for a week, and we honored the chosen huntress as a hero. Then she left, and we returned to our duties. We still sang her name to the skies during festival season, but we otherwise didn't speak of her.
I'm sure your village still remembers you, Sagani. You're kind to say so, but I'm not so fragile that I need my name chanted in the meeting halls.
It's not being forgotten by my village that troubles me. But sometimes I wonder how my husband and children remember me, if they think of me often.
Of course they do. They must. I would like to believe it, and yet sometimes days go by and I realize they have not crossed my thoughts. Such days are rare, but they happen. She looks away, tugging at the strap of her quiver. It shames me to think of it, but more than that, it scares me.
Still, there's no point in dwelling on it. More often I find myself wondering whether Persok will remember us. You claim to see souls. What do you think? Do you remember your past lives?
Yes, in fragments. She leans a hair's breadth closer. Really? What's that like? It's strange. Feels like I'm going crazy most of the time. She sits back. I don't envy you, because I'm lucky I only have to worry about someone else's past life.
Makes me wonder what Persok remembers about our village. Or if a turn at the wheel has yanked the details out of his mind like it does for most of us.
Has your village changed much since his time?
Masuk is probably much the same as it was 100 years ago. We live between tundra and frozen forests, and the land takes as much as it gives. But our hardships bring us together. And the elders truly unite us. They keep the stories of past generations, and they guide us from season to season, through good years and lean.
Itumak brushes against her hip, and she scratches his head. Recently, there have been a lot of good years, my aunt say. We've had a few crashes with the neighboring villages thanks to the hunting territories that Persak helped establish. In bad years, we rely on trade with the merchants that pass our shores. We exchange walrus tusks and seal pelts for grains that last us the hard winters. Persak brokered a lot of those agreements too. She holds up the bear figurine. He got this from one of the Amawa ships that used to trade with us. Basuk must be a tight-knit village. Nah, that's not like us, is it? Wouldn't a lot of these developments have happened anyway?
It's the duty of an elder to lead according to the needs and wishes of the village, so who knows?
Sounds like you're on a hunt of your own, though. You feeling the thrill of the chase, or for this to be over? I enjoy the adventure. Every day brings something new. She smiles. Refreshing, indeed. She rises and stretches, looking around. Might as well keep moving while we got some daylight. Let's go. Is it even daylight? I don't know. But we still have some things to do, and we're going to do them right now.
Before I knew it, the Stelgar was on top of me, and I was face down in the dirt.
Arrow to the throat. That stops him.
What? No! I was spirit shifted, and she was in heat, so I aimed for the throat, but not with an arrow.
Oh! No, mister. No. Let's go to Purinsk's house. By the way, if I do sound different, it's because there has been a break of 12 hours in between the couple of minutes ago and the now. But at any rate, there is a bunch of mercenaries in here, and Purinch is surrounded by some guards. Let's talk to him.
Hail, traveler.
The man before you flashes you a toothy and rather unpleasant grin. Well now, on your face, welcome friend, name's Purinsk. And this, he gestures to the room around you, is my humble abode and place of business. And I do hope you're in here to do some business. He glances at the nearby guards. Give him Kenra's ring. Kenra asked me to give you this. Purinsk takes the ring and turns it around in his fingers. Nice. What's that for? You do not recognize the wedding band you gave, Kenra? Purinsk laughs. Oh yeah, I see now. She's making a statement, is she? Good riddance to her, then. Sorry I ever spent the coin to begin with. Now, is that all? Seems a difficult thing to forget, giving your grandmother's ring to someone. Maybe she just not worth remembering, eh? Purinsk snorts. Well, you're playing lapdog for her and all. Why don't you go back and tell her to keep clear of here? How dare you hit your own fiancée? How could you leave with yourself? She was asking for it, Purinsk growls. Sort of like you right now. Maybe you ought to quit digging around in affairs that don't concern you. Me? We've got business to get back to. He points. They're that way. Something's not right here, and I don't plan on leaving until I find out what's going on. Purinsk's eyes narrow. Then you won't be leaving at all, friend. I was tired of wearing this face anyhow. He raises his voice. Guards, to me! Well, you look different all of a sudden. Alright, let's blast this guy off the planet. There is a few mercenaries. Elot will take care of them. So as you can see, his true name is Nirid. Okay, Foxy, attack the mercenary. You're already getting hurt. Gosh darn it, Foxy. Why don't you swift aim a bit? Hiravius, where are you at, bro? Down there? That's fine. Whack it. Wait, what? The implication of how wrong that sounded is pretty clever. Okay, let's see. The mercenary here is dying pretty smoothly. You're gonna attack him. My guy is attacking that guy. You are just going to buff our defenses a bit. I feel like that's fine. And there, buddy. You think you got... Yeah, he got this. He totes got this. Apparently Durance is getting hurt. Stop! Nirid staggers back, holding a bloody hand in front of him. I give up! Just live and I'll go peacefully, alright? Too late. I don't understand if that was the only option ever given, because he like dies. I don't know if maybe if you do less damage, maybe he survives and you can let him go or so. I don't know, man. So gonna need to attack that person. Wolfie attack that one. I don't know how blocked will be. We are not blocked at all, actually. That's pretty fancy. The wolf has to, or not the wolf, the fox rather, has to move around a bit. Let's go here. Let's mark this guy. Yo, thou art marked. Thou art my sworn enemy, and I shall end thine life. Yeah, sworn enemy just lasts forever, unlike her mark. Single target spray giving the ranger and the animal companion. So this only does give damage to the ranger and animal companion, and this only gives damage to the paladin, right? To the combat ends or until the target goes down. Yeah, I think it's only for the paladin. Focus of the righteous paladin's righteous fury. I think so. Anyway, we'll get Nirid's grimoire here. We're gonna give it to Aloth. Everything else can go into the stash. Nothing too fanciful anyway. Aloth, what do you have in here? Eldritch Aim. Oh, so this is basically like True Strike, as useless a spell as True Strike. Good! Good. Oh, there's more mercenaries. Hey, buddy. Wanna fight? We can fight. But you're in for a bad time, mister. Very bad time, mister. 30 damage from the fox! Holy cow! That's a lot of damage! Foxy! You are strong. Let's investigate the upper floor. We might find something of interest up there. Among other things, also more enemies, of course.
I'm on the trail.
So let's sneakily move here. I don't know if the fox has a good sneak score. Apparently it does have a decent sneak score. There is a paladin mercenary. Good lord. Gracious. Good gracious me something. Fox. You have no ability? You have no ability. Okay, I think they later on get a takedown ability of sorts. Let's go with Flames of Devotion on that guy there. Why don't you snag up this rogue? As you can see, this is an ability of the rogue. Crippling Strike or something like that? Aloth, buddy. Just do your thing, bro. Oh god, the fox is dying. It's fine. It's fine. We'll keep it alive. We'll keep it alive. Foxy, leave. Okay. It's fine. It's fine. I don't think the fox is gonna leave. Well, in this combat specifically. Or maybe. Maybe we're able to... Nope, nope, it's down. But that's fine. It's pretty fine. So what exactly does it imply that... Wait, let's see. Bonded Grief, 10 accuracy, and 2 might, and 2 resolve less. Okay, so that's what it does if the fox goes down in combat. The health doesn't seem to drop though, does it? No. So they do not share health. That's interesting. Everyone was telling me like, oh yeah, they share health. Sure done.
Well,
sure they done. Let's open the door. With the key we just found. Oh! A man lies bound and bloodied on the floor before you. His face is a tapestry of bruises, and blood is spattered across several corners of the room. The man cringes and sobs as you approach. God, please. Please no more. Can't take any more. Not here to hurt you. The man pauses, gazing up at you. You're not? Oh, praise Bara. You're not one of his men, are you? He glances nervously behind you. He shakes his head. Please. I don't know who you are, but my name is Purinsk. This is my house. You have to help me. Then who was that downstairs? An impostor. Some wizard named Nirid. He came into my house, tied me up in here, tortured me, and now he and his men are eating my food, breaking my things, selling Svev inside my own house. He blinked. He just turned up all of a sudden. Purinsk looks away, unable to meet your gaze. I may have hung onto a tiny portion of my supplier's share, but I needed the money. What exactly happened? He sent over the wizard, Nerid, the man downstairs. Brings shudders. To make up the lost copper, I guess, and to hurt me while he was at it. It feels like it's been days. He's already taken care of. Purinsk stares at you. I can't believe this nightmare is finally over. He grins weakly, then seems to remember something. You've no idea what you've done for me, but... He looks up at you and away again. I need to find my love, Kenra. Only after whatever Nirid put her through, I'm afraid she won't give me a chance to explain. But she might listen to you. Please. She must be somewhere in Copperlane. It is the only home she's known. And please, don't tell her about the Svev. About what I do. I could make it worth your while. A discount, maybe. Let's see. Perhaps you should trust her to make her own decisions. And I think that's actually fair. Perhaps you should trust her to make her own decisions rather than lie to her. I know, and I can't force you to keep the secret. I just don't want to lose her after what happened here. I'm sure she won't have anything to do with Svev or me if she finds out. Kenra sent me here in the first place. She did? Purinsk smiles brightly. That woman helped save my life without realizing it. Please, bring her home and tell her that everything is back to normal. I'll go talk to her. I can't thank you enough, truly. How I've missed my poor Kenra. Oh, you might miss her too if I tell her the truth, honestly. Scumbag. Is there anything nice here? What's that? Valoon? Whatever. Something. Let's go downstairs. We're back at the inn. Let's go talk to Kenra right now. Hello, Kenra. Kenra looks up as you approach. What happened with Purinsk? Did you give him the ring? Purinsk was being impersonated by a powerful wizard. However, the real Purinsk also deals Svev. She covers her mouth with her hand, shocked. Purinsk? My Purinsk is a Svev dealer? If I didn't know you for an honest man. She brings her fist down on the table, slushing her drink. Damn it! How can I trust him after something like this? That he's lied to me for this long. She runs her hands through her hair and takes a deep breath. I should just be glad I found out about this before the wedding. Well, you're smart to stay away from him. She nods. You're right. I think this was what I needed to realize it. Thank you. Oh, and take this. She unclasps something from her neck. Picked it up from one of the merchants to help me stand firm in my decision. I'll be fine without it now. Unwavering resolve added to your inventory. Well, let's see. It's a necklace. That is my dog. That gives us 2 intellect and 1 resolve. Here you go, Adat. Enjoy. Sure, he's not gonna have his fancy cape of fanciness, but you know, he's still a chill dude. Shall we equip the lab? Let's have the lab a bit in our party. Let's have the little lab. Lost 23 copper pieces to bandits. Grand. What else happened? Nothing new to report. Turn 5 taxes collected. Is that all? Alright.
Hello.
Let's sell some things, shall we? Some of the things we don't need anyway. Which means a lot of things. Well, that's easy. 6,655 coins, isn't it? Bam. Let's go now to the markets and see what the people sell there.
Well, whatever happens, at least we're out of that mud hole, Gilded Vale. I grew up in Gilded Vale.
Quaint. That's what I meant to call it.
No, you had it right.
Hello, Paragond. The Orlan woman bounces up and down as you approach. Remember me? We met at Madmer Bridge. She slaps you playfully on the shoulder. How does she reach my shoulder in the first place? Thanks for helping me out back there. As promised, I'll give you the best prices in town. If it weren't for you, I'd still be broke. What does she sell? The traps. She sells traps. Good traps, but traps. Here we have Igran, or Igran. Igran stands behind a stall, polishing a broadsword. The patterned flesh around his eyes is crinkled with age, and the muscles in his arms are knotty and lean. But he holds the weapon with ease. He nods at you. Time to take a look. You won't find a finer collection of armor and weaponry in Defiance Bay. Outside Sunlight, of course. He flashes a crooked grin. What's so special about Sunlight? She operates in the expedition hall. He jerks a thumb over his shoulder. Sells the best equipment in the city, but Wenan keeps her on short leash. Keeps her fine inventory reserved for chartered expeditionists, members of the dozens, and anyone else who takes a liking to. He takes a liking to. Let me see what you have to sell. Alrighty, he sells a unique warhammer, which is a one-handed weapon, of course. Lord Stain's reach with a unique pike. It has a lot of reach. Inflicts -5 accuracy for 5 seconds on hit. It's a fine weapon, and that's where it stops. The lady's hand. Wink, wink. 10 accuracy when below 50% endurance, 20% damage when, well, endurance below 50%. 20% grazes converts to hit. And a warbow, which does 20% damage restored as endurance. I wonder if it actually would heal the fox's health. There's also Pike's Pride, which is an armor. 50% stun duration, 50% knockdown duration, 9 will. That's not bad. It's not bad at all, actually. Of course, I already have a pretty decent armor overall, which I wouldn't like to change. The Dunrid's Demon. The Dunrid Demon. 2 intellect. What else is there? Well, that's all that is magical, really. Nothing too special, but still pretty sweet. There's a couple other merchants, but we're not gonna check them out. Well, we can check Laura. She's a jeweler.
Well met.
The young woman stands by a cart, watching the crowd with large, bright eyes that focus as you approach. Take your time, traveler. If you're looking for enchanted scrolls or garb, you've come to the right place. Let's see. She sells a couple of rings. First level spells uses second and third for a priest. For wizard, 2 and 4th. Deflection, ring of protection, we know those. Some spells, some potions, you know, pretty basic stuff, but pretty good stuff because she sells the potions of major endurance. Right now we don't have a lot of monies. We're gonna keep it that way. 15,000 coins for the Ashwood cameo figurine, which summons a Delemgan. I don't greatly remember what a Delemgan is. I think it's like something with... Wasn't it like a warrior from Air Glanfath? You outright summon a warrior from Air Glanfath? Well, ain't that quaint. Right here, next to this house, there should be a kid. Psst, over here, mister! A young boy watches the passers-by and counts a grimy handful of coins. His face and arms are smudged with dirt, but Except for the grass stains, his clothes are in good condition. As you approach, he blinks and makes a quick, furtive effort to pocket his coins.
Hey, mister, want to know a secret?
He wipes his nose with a sleeve.
I know a real good secret.
Looks like we got a little hustler here. So raise this kid right. Really? What is it? He shrugs and clasps his hand behind his back, kicking a loose pebble.
I just saw Fox hiding some really neat things. I could show you where, but Mom and Dad told me not to talk to strangers.
His eyes slowly roll up to you.
But maybe you can help me with something. Then we wouldn't be strangers.
Help you with what? Gordy's voice suddenly rises in pitch and tempo. Oh god.
The Crucible Knights have these daggers made of mine steel. It's the best steel around except for Durgan steel, which doesn't count because no one makes it anymore.
Okay, sorry about that. But, you know, he suddenly rises in pitch. I had to do something about it, shouldn't I? He stops long enough to catch his breath.
Anyway, there's this merchant over by the expedition hall, and he has a dagger made of real March steel.
His eyes grow large and round.
He said he wouldn't sell it to me because I'm a kid, and kids don't know anything about daggers. But that's not true. I know lots about daggers. I know about the different kinds of steel. I know how the Crucible Knights make them in Forge. I know that the tip can pierce a low gauge scale armor, and that's good, and sharp can cut through bone. See, I know plenty about daggers, and I really, really want this one. And if you could just get it for me, I promise I'll never, ever ask anyone for anything ever again.
That's a bit quick to ask that promise, sir. In Masuk, we begin training our daughters with the hunting knife as soon as they can talk. Many can field dress a hare before their 10th birthday. She frowns. I wouldn't trust this kid with a butter knife. Right. Let's see. I'll get the dagger for you. Gordy jumps up and down, whooping and hollering.
I knew a real adventurer would understand.
He points to a large building.
There's a big merchant over by Advent's Den who sells weapons. He's the one with the dagger. I'll wait right here for you.
His gap-toothed grin stretches from ear to ear.
Well?
Voicing that kid was a bit hard. But anyway, let's return to the big guy that we've been actually looking his wares at, because he is the guy that he was talking about. Hello, Igran. Once more.
Well met, friend.
Anything in particular you'd like to see? I'm looking for a particular dagger made of March steel. Just like the Crucible Knight used. Let me guess. You've been talking to that kid, right? I'd be tempted to sell it to you anyways and let the little rascal learn his wrestle, but a packet of adventurers already took it off my hands. Those adventurers you sold the dagger to, where are they now? Folk like all that only visit Copperlane to crew up at the Admet's Den Expedition Hall or down the Pines at the Goose and Fox. And since they weren't headed into the den, well, you got my best guess. Thank you. Let's go back to the Goose and Fox and find the people that actually have bought the dagger. On the upper floor of the Goose and Fox, we find the two-tone Wexel as well as Key. Hey.
Welcome.
A Norland man relaxes with his feet propped on the table. Patches of dark brown skin peek out from under a full mane of blue-green hair. He and the Orlan woman with him exchange laughs and comments with the trio at a nearby table, and he spins a dagger in his hand. His hazel eyes watch you. You look like you've seen a knight or two in the wilds, joining us for a drink. Did you buy a March steel dagger from Igran? He displays the blade on a flat palm. I did, and a fine piece it is. I don't know of any more circulating in the city, outside the Still and the Crucible Keep, of course. How much to take it off your hands? He turns the blade in the light, admiring it. Seeing as how there's a sudden demand for this, 100 pounds seems fair. Deal. He hands you the dagger, hilt first. Pleasure doing business with you. Is there something else you wanted? Not yet, mister. Let's go give the dagger to Gordy. Hello, Gordy. Gordy bounces on the pavement
Did you get it? Do you have the dagger? Can I see it?
I have the dagger right here. Gordy stops bouncing and stares at it, gaping in awe.
It's so sharp.
Toss him the dagger. Don't kill yourself or anything. He snatches it out of the air, heedless of anything else. He yanks it out of its sheath and holds the blade up to the light.
I'm going to be just like the Crucible Knight.
He saws and chops at the air. He flips the weapon into the air and grabs at the hilt, almost slicing his palm open in the process. His eyes dart away from yours as he sheaths the dagger.
So about that secret.
Gordy puts his hand up to his mouth and whispers loudly.
I saw one of the actors hide something under a loose stone near the theater. Probably nothing as good as Mark's steel dagger, though.
Thanks for telling me, Gordy.
Bye!
Yes.
Alright, let's go check. So this is of course the theater. And where could this loose stone be? Well, we just go into scout mode and sure enough, there you have it. Quest completed. And we get ourselves a Nokian Scarab figure, which summons 3 wood beetles per rest. It is pretty goddamn good. It is very good actually, better than March Steel. Ugh. Good. With that done, we can go next to this house over here. We have just a couple more things to do in Copperlane. And after that, we can approach with the main quests next episode. In this house right here, it's not marked on the map, but there is an entrance. Let's enter and see what happens.
Right, everyone knows the plan. Up the wall and into the window. Grab the jewel from the pretty little lord. We got it.
Listen, dwarf, if I have to... Langdon, we got company. Greetings. The dwarf's eyes you suspiciously and hides his pistol behind his back. You're looking for someone? Because this isn't the best. Langdon rounds on the dwarf. No, wait, I messed up the voices, right? There is the... Oh, these two are different people. Oh, okay, sorry. Idiot! They're probably with the Crucible Knights. You've made a grave mistake coming here. He raises his blade. And all of a sudden, we have Sleg, Surika, Langdon, Daisy, and Dirty Rigbird attacking us. Fox, go on Dirty Rigbird. Sagani, attack Dirty Rigbird. You, debuff as many as you can, particularly the mage would be nice. Can I debuff? Yeah, let's go with this. Safer debuff there. Druid man! Whoa! Go on him. Why don't you start using that ability? You can go on Landgen and I will go straight towards the maze. Oh god, it's the lightning bolt. The crackling bolt thingy. They flipping confused my fox! That is not nice of you. Oh, the mage is flipping. Gone for good. You two attack like here. Foxy, can you please attack Daisy? Together with Druid Man. Whoa! Okie dokie, Slag here is pretty tough, but nothing we cannot handle, obviously. With them taken care of, let's loot. There is a note. Let's read it. Our contact inside Raymond Manor will leave a second story window ajar. Is confirmed the location of the heart of the White March in a hidden chamber. Get your crew together and head to Brackenbury before Raymond moves the jewel. A.D. A.D. Interesting. Why do crime lords always insist on putting their initials on letters? That makes no sense. It makes no sense. Okay.
See what I can do.
Please do.
The work of a moment.
Of course, you're a genius, Aloth. I couldn't have done anything without you in the first place. Oh, hello.
The work of a moment.
Have I told you the story of... Sorry. Okay, with everything looted, let's go on to the next place. Next place
Dragon,
is...
does your fox bite?
Yes,
Can I pet him anyway?
it's your hand.
I'm gonna pet him.
Alright, there. Let's go to the Hall of Revealed Mysteries. It is a hall, it's a library more specifically, dedicated to Mr. Whale, God of Mysteries and Solutions, or Hidden Mysteries, or Hidden Solutions, and Revealed Mysteries, as the case might be. He's a bit of a weirdo. Let's just say that sometimes secrets, he likes his secrets and he likes lore, and you know, he is a good guy. He's certainly a good guy. Well, or while, I guess. Let's talk.
All these pages serve no better use than fuel for the fire.
Durance, calm your cock. Let's talk to Grimda here. Keep searching the obscured leaves clues for those who seek.
Greetings.
An elderly dwarf surveys the stacks. Her skin looks as tough and wrinkled as a walnut. Despite her stature, she manages to look down her nose at you. You're welcome to look around, but let the priests and scriveners continue their search. She scoots the nearest robed figure, a withering glare. Wouldn't do to give them any other excuses. What are they looking for? Maybe I could find it. She sizes you up, stroking her chin. And I could trust you to bring it back, I suppose. She scolds at the rogue priest again. You certainly couldn't do worse than this lot, anyway. This is made off with an ancient scroll of Whale. Well. They intend to blaspheme by selling that which should remain hidden, a secret of the 100 visions. Her wiry eyebrows arc over her spectacles. The guards caught one of them, but were overzealous in their interrogation, and all they could piece together was something about a farmhouse and the road to Dyrwood. Track the thieves down. I don't care what you do with them, but bring back the scroll. Whale rewards the persistent seekers, and so do I. Alright, let's go.
What is it?
That's about the last thing we're gonna do in this episode, I believe. Now, a farmhouse on the road to Dyrwood Village, which is this one. The road to Dyrwood Village would be through Edelwon Bridge, Woodland Plains, and Stormwall Gorge. So, it must be a farmhouse in one of these three. Since we know that the Edelwon Bridge is basically just a bridge, our first and most prominent clue is to go to the Woodland Plains. Okie dokie. So, where would a farmhouse be if not down a little path off the main road? Guys, I know where the location is. Maybe that's why I know where exactly to go. But yeah, it's the first farmhouse on the way to Dyrwood. There is no farmhouse here, and it certainly doesn't mean any farmhouse in Dyrwood. So, down here on the grass, you're gonna see Eben, some thieves. Plenty of thieves. Venka. Thieves that find us.
Hey.
There, go forward. A big group of thieves, in fact. Thief, you have made the biggest mistake of your life, and that is to attack me in front of my face. Let's go kill them all! Alright, so there's two of them attacking that guy. Let's add a big blast in here. And why don't we add a few stones to the midst, to the whole deal? Damage. Nice damage. Let's attack Venka with Eder and myself. You guys should really attack Beckwolf. There is an animal companion which is already dead. And let's kill Eager, which is eager to die. Ah, it was pretty bad, I'm sorry. We get ourselves a unique plate mail. Pretty fancy, huh? Let's give the grimoire to Aloth. Scroll of Whale. This ancient scroll is bound with silver thread. The broken wax seal is stamped with the shape of an eye. The scroll at first appears to be gibberish, a collection of symbols and characters with no apparent connection between them. As you study them, however, you could swear that the characters begin to move. Slowly, almost imperceptibly, they shift and crisscross and realign, and you're able to read the text. A simpleton seeks out a wise man, said to know the answer to every question. Please, says the simpleton, you have to help me. The world terrifies me. I wake each morning and I do not know why. I make choices each day and I don't know what will happen as a result. I go to sleep each night and I don't know whether it will be my last. When the simpleton finishes, he notices that the wise man is weeping. The simpleton apologizes profusely and asks the wise man what he has said to upset him. The wise man shakes his head and wipes the tears from his eyes. He answers, some people have all the luck. Well, well, quite proverbially. As you take the scroll, you hear a voice. You have found it. Now lose it again. What? You think this theft was an accident? The voice seems to shift as if the speaker were consistently changing age, race, or sex. My relics were never meant to stay in one place for long. They're meant to be lost and found. It is the search that gives a thing value. Take it to the Black Meadow. Find a drake that faces east and bury it neath its skull.
Yes.
I know it's meadow. I'm calling it meadow because the mead, the alcoholic beverage made of honey, is mead, it's not med, despite the fact that it actually comes from the word med, which means honey in Slavic languages. Specifically, I believe mead was it Slovak in origin? I think so. Let's go to the Black Meadow. Security reports that wood beetles and spear spiders will attack the stronghold in 5 days. Well, we can do that. Barracks construction complete. So you can see here we can resolve attack automatically. It will destroy some of the buildings. Don't do it! We'll do a manual resolve once we return. First, let's hire some hirelings, though. How about... is there anyone in particular that has better abilities than the base? No. How about we go with a Goldback Knight, as obvious reasons, as well as let's go with someone that gives us 2 prestige. A Vagabond Scald, that's fine. We're gonna get more money and more security. The drake's skull faces east, and the soil underneath is soft and moist. Bury the scroll of whale. As you cover the ancient scroll with the last handful of soil, the shifting voice speaks in your head once more. Well done, Watcher.
What is it?
Okay, lore implications. We were just spoken to by Mr. Whale, a god of mystery and secrets, and as well as solutions. This implies that gods are actually living beings, that they are rather not living beings, but that they are actual entities, that they can enter into the mind of people, just like so. So, you know, it's not superstition that. What was that about? What was all that about? Oh yeah, I should actually build something else, shouldn't I? Let us build the merchant stalls. Should be fine. Okie dokie. So now that we're here, we can actually go here and select manual resolve, which is going to take us to the place of the battlefield. Since it's spear spiders and wood beetles, I suppose it's gonna be in the main hall. I was right. And my mercenaries are already getting slaughtered. would be unfortunate if they died, so let's take care of this quickly. Okay, Ravius, move forward. Let's add a big boom to the midst of these. We're gonna use the same strategy as we did for the thieves. Twin Stones, Fireball. Twin Stones, Fireball. Sagani, attack this spider. These are spinners. They are spinners indeed. Wood beetles are pretty pesky. We need to be careful. Okay, can you heal my guys before they flip and die? That would be amazing, mister. That would be so good. Foxy? Seems like we're gonna be taking care of them pretty fine. These are the beetles we're able to summon, by the way. The 3 beetles we can summon once per rest now. They're pretty powerful allies early on. My loot! Don't worry. It's gonna be alright. Maybe. It is.
Well?
Where's my loot? I bear a message from the Ducal Palace. Greetings, my lord. I bear an urgent message from Chancellor Warren of Defiance Bay. He requests that you meet with him at your earliest convenience in the Ducal Palace. Your claim on Cadnua has been called into question by the Gathbin family. Earl Badamar has issued a ruling on the matter, but both you and Lord Gathbin must be present. Who's Chancellor Warren? He is an arbiter of legal matters for Earl Badamar of the Grasp. Tell me about this Lord Gathbin. An old Edirian lineage, I believe. He looks around the Great Hall. The former lord of the stronghold, a distant relative of Lord Gathbin, allied himself with the losing side during the War of Defiance. I'll go meet him then. The Chancellor will wait for you in the records room of the Ducal Palace in the first fires. The messenger bows, then strides away. Alright. I wonder if there is anything here. There should be at least no money? No money for me? No loot! Where is all the loot? I was promised loot. Why don't I have loot? Okay, now we're gonna show you. I'm gonna show you what exactly having this place. What was it called? Hearth Hollow? Bright Hollow? Bright Hollow. Bright Hollow restored. We can camp, and we get the resting of. We get the resting screen of Bright Hollow. We don't get the camp. You don't get to use camping supplies. We right now don't have any bonuses from it, but we're gonna get them eventually as we upgrade some parts, like the gardens, like the towers and such. It's gonna be pretty useful because the bonuses are considerable. Let's go back to Copperlane and talk about talk to the lady about Whale's wishes to hide the scroll.
Have you ever chased a skirt wizard? Or do you merely hide behind them?
Don't pawn your personal problems off on me.
They will use you, cast you off when it suits them. Never speak another word to you.
Maybe they just don't answer to fiery whore.
Durance knows. Durance knows. But what? Alright, what should be our next intended repair? We could go with the Warden's Lodge and get the quests, the bounty hunt quests. I think that would be fun. We'll try to complete some of those early for some convenient experience points. Getting to that sweet level 6 is gonna be pretty fancy stuff. Now let's go quickly to the Hall of Revealed Mysteries, or the mysteries unsolved, as the case might be with a scroll. Hello again, Grimda.
Welcome.
Grimda glances down her spectacles. Very inquisitive, I see. Found a scroll, but Whale asked me to hide it again. She gives you a long, stern look. I'd call anyone else a liar with a story like that, but coming from you, she squints behind her thick spectacles, there is a certain logic after all. And if you served Whale, then you've served me too. She presents you with a folded section of fabric. Whale's both a keeper and a discoverer of secrets. May this hood aid you in revealing what is obscured and keep you hidden from those who wish you harm. You find a key in your palm. You're also free to visit the Elder Archives and take whatever books or scrolls you find in the open. Spreading and circulating new mysteries is part of our service to the obscured. What else do you need? Nothing else. Thank you very much. We get ourselves a fancy little hood, which increases our perception by 1. Should I use it in exchange for my Pilgrim's Last Vigil, which increases also my resolve? I don't think I should, honestly. Because my resolve is, well, you know what? 10 resolve might be just fine. And we look fancy with that. Fancy is good. We're gonna give this helm to Durance, I believe, because he might actually benefit from some extra concentration, which right now he has a lot of. Okay. What about this armor? Poison effect tick rate -15, disease effect tick rate -50%, and also grants a sunbeam 3 times per rest. It's not a bad armor by any stretch. But who could use it? I could on my character, but I don't see a very good use over it. We could give it to Hiravius, but -45% recovery speed is pretty big. And when he's turned, when he's shifted, he doesn't get any benefit from any items. So there is no reason to give it to him if he goes into melee form with that. Honestly, I think we're just gonna outright sell it. We really, really, really don't need it. We're gonna go to the extra archive place sometime later. First and foremost, I would like to conclude this episode. If I am not mistaken, I could accept 1 quest. Yeah, let's do that first.
He may have returned a drunk or an invalid.
Maybe. But the search for Persoc is just as important as what I find.
Is that right? And what if you return empty-handed, huh?
I never return empty-handed.
Well said, Sagani. Then again, Durance is only trying to provoke fights. Let's be honest. He is the fucking instigator of the group. Let's go to the expedition hall. Admet's Den Expedition Hall. That's the full name. We are not. This is one of the 3 factions of Defiance Bay, which I forgot to mention. 3 factions. One of them is the Expedition Hall. One of them.
Place we could find allies for a prize.
Well, first we'll have to talk to a few morons, apparently, because let's be honest, that's what we do all day. A well-groomed man steps through the hall with a confident swagger, a smug grin etched on his face. He is flanked by 5 other hard-looking individuals. One of his companions eyes you for a moment before spitting at you at your feet. Another pup come wandering in, I see. Just know that Binds Giant Slayers run things around here and you'll be fine. Never heard of them. His eyes narrow. You have now. Stick around Defiance Bay and you will gain plenty of bounties to go around. But there's a reason the Giant Slayers get the lion's share. Remember that. A voice bellows across the hall. Enough jabber, Bine! You gonna do the job or talk about it? His jaw tightens. When it's right, that kind ain't going to collect itself. He looks at his comrades and jerks his chin towards the door. See you around, pup. Wow. Wow, what a jerk. So this is one of the 3 major factions of Defiance Bay. The other 2, one is in First Fire, is the... What are they called again? The something Knights? Why did I forget the name? Oh, boy. The guys we were talking about earlier about March Steel. Those guys, the something Knights... Sorry about that, I forgot the name. And the 3rd one is House Dominal, set in Brackenbury. So let's discuss them. The Knights, they are supposed to be the guards of the city. What was it? Justiciars or something like that? I forgot names, but there is quite a few of these guys, and they are supposedly good, but not that much. I would say they're the neutral, lawful neutral group of the city. They have their downsides. Here we have the dozens. They are mercenaries, and in such they will accept any job as long as it pays. They have a history with the Dyrwood, a rich history. They were some of those that guarded the breach when the bomb that exploded Weidman was set off. So they were guarding the breach, they were keeping Weidman busy, the dozens, the original dozens. They were keeping Weidman busy while the bomb exploded. So they have quite a rich history in the Dyrwood. They're pretty important people, I believe. I think that's the story. Maybe it's not. I don't know. I don't remember. We'll talk to this guy and we'll see. They're not very lawful, but they're certainly not good nor evil. I would say they're the true neutral kind of faction. Finally, House Damnals. They're crime lords. They're literally a crime family, organized crime. They deal with smuggling, they deal with killing people, killing witnesses, trying to create conflict and disturbance. Are they evil? Somehow, but I don't know. I feel like they are really chaotic neutral. I don't think any of the factions is evil or good. They all have their downsides, they all have their upsides. Which one we're gonna choose to follow, I honestly don't know. Each one gives a bonus. The dozens give you a bonus for attacking the same target as an ally. The dominoes give you a bonus for flanked damage. And the knights give you a bonus in damage reduction. So it's, it's there. It's defensive, offensive, offensive. I think I might go with the dozens. I don't know. We'll see. We'll still discuss that. There's still time to choose. Either way, every one of these factions have a quest before you initiate the faction, and you can complete any of those quests. And when you complete those quests, their unique merchant becomes available. You can have all 3 unique merchants available at all times. You don't have to join a faction and only have that one unique merchant available. For this, we will start up a quest right here with this guy.
Last time, Aidwig, keep your fucking blade up. If that dummy was armed, it'd have your head off.
I'm looking for work.
You want an expedition? Talk to Wenin. I just handle these mercenary shit shovelers. Adventurers, I mean.
Although, sizes you up. I do have something I need done. Something that requires... He glances sidelong at an adventurer, flailing away helplessly at a dummy. Competence. What do you need done?
I was formerly one of the Knights of the Crucible.
That is the name!
When I left, they kept my arms and armor. The arms they can have, but the armor belonged to my family. I'd like it back.
Doesn't sound like leaving Crucible Knights was your choice.
You don't choose to leave knighthood. The Crucible Knights, they may not be a real knighthood, but the oaths you swear are just as true. Still, turns out that even unofficial knighthoods have politics. You cross the wrong man, suddenly all kinds of accusations are thrown your way, and nobody believes you.
Nothing more destructive than a crowd with the wrong idea. Why don't you just go ask for it back?
No. They'd like that, I'm sure. But I won't be going. Sooner be torn apart by dogs than give them the satisfaction.
So you're saying that you are too proud to go there and ask the armor for yourself, but you're not proud enough to just accept someone else to do it for you. I'm sorry, sir, but you are a moron. What's this armor?
It's a breastplate. Not much to look at, and it's seen far too much use, but it's been in my family since the liberation.
He means the war between the Edir Empire and the Dyrwood. I'll see what I can do.
Then it's Penhelm you're looking for. A low snake of a man. If he was to die choking on his own black tongue, it'd be too kind of fate. He kept it when he had me kicked out.
I got word from a reliable source that Penhelm visited a forger in Ondra's Gift right after having his soul lineage read by a cipher in Dunridrow. Should you have it in your heart to find a way to ruin his life while you're there, well, drinks on me. Having soul lineage read?
It's a requirement to join the Knights. They have to ensure a novitiate doesn't have a subversive lineage. If Penhelm's superiors found out his affidavit was a fake, his career would be over. Every novitiate gets an affidavit from Dunreed Row, and those are stored at Crucible Keep. If you find Penhelm's, one of those ciphers could tell you if it's real.
I apologize for misreading lineage. I knew deep inside that it's lineage. For some reason I went with lineage. Lineage? Lineage? Well, it is a lineage. It is in theory a lineage, but it's lineage. English. I apologize. Sagani scratches the back of her neck. If generation of Masuk traditions are any indication, this Penhelm probably doesn't remember it. Still, a past like that has to count for something. Got business with me? Nope. With that, we're going to conclude this episode. Thank you so much for tolerating thus far, if you did. I will see you next time. I think on my schedule, there has been a couple of issues. Mainly one video failed to render. I had to re-render it, re-upload it, and now it works finally. I have no idea if this is going to make it the day after that happens. If there was a break in between, I apologize. It's stronger than me, really. Sometimes the programs I use to render and encode are pretty whimsical bastards. Coupled with my shitty internet, well, it gives you a nice little cocktail of fuck off. So, thanks everyone for watching, and until next time, be well. Bye! Her painted brows lower and made of displays the blade on a flat palm. I did, and a fine piece it is. I don't know any. I don't know any.